Hey guys, Marcus here, and we're gonna do something I haven't done in a while. Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Alright, Regionals was just yesterday, and I top forward with this deck, Chain Burn. It's really good actually, I've been playing it for quite a while, and yeah, it's pretty solid. I played against basically all the meta decks, Rabbit, Insectors, Wind Up. I didn't play against the Dragon deck, that's been doing well, and I haven't played against Hero, but Hero deck is a really good matchup for you. But, yeah, we're just going to go through the deck quickly and show you what's up. So for monsters, we have 3 Lava Golem. And this card is like super important in order to beat the Rabbit matchup because of Lagia. Because they can't negate it, obviously, and Lagia is like one of the main reasons why it's like kind of a difficult matchup in a way. But yeah, these guys in general are just really good at getting rid of any problem monsters. Like say if they're playing samurais, you just sack their guy, their Shien, and all that stuff. You just sacrifice any problem monster they could possibly have, and it burns. And it also helps out with some other cards. But anyways, of those, we have 2 Swift Scarecrow. Obviously for preventing OTKs, and if they just fill up the board and you don't have enough, you can just discard that and you take nothing. Yeah, really solid card. 1 Arcana Force the Fool. It's basically like just a Spirit Reaper or Marshmallow or whatever. The reason I'm playing this over Marshmallow is because of the Rabbit matchup. For if they get out not Lagia but Dolka, because Marshmallow's effect can be negated by Dolka, and the Rabbit matchup actually doesn't have very many ways of dealing with this other than Mind Control and like Toriental Tribute and stuff like that. So this is the reason why it gets the nod over that. And final monster is Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar is just a way so you can refill your hand, obviously. It's really good if they're trying to set up a big play or something like that, because they attack into it, they have to discard their hand, start fresh, and with this deck a lot, you just set your entire hand most of the time, so it just refills your hand. So now we go to, sorry about that, we go to spells. We have 3 1-day apiece. This card from the new set, the last set or whatever, has really made this deck possible. Because it gives you a turn, it gives you an extra card, so it 1-for-1s itself, which is always nice, and it just buys you a turn. So you can set up plays, you can just survive, basically. It's very, very good. We have 3 Pot of Dualities. Pot of Duality, man. We don't really do any special summoning other than Lava Golem, so, like, it just gets you any card you need. Specifically, you need to stall for a turn, 1 day apiece. You need to get some burn in. Like, it's a burn deck. But yeah, it's very, very solid. Definitely, you have to play 3 of these. 2 Chain Strikes. It's one of the better cards in the deck. It's why it's Chain Burn. But it's not the best burn card in the deck, because, you have to have, like 3 or 4 other cards to make it actually do decent damage. But, you definitely still run 2, because it's still very powerful. And the final one's Scapegoat. It's basically just like a fog, like a threatening roar, or whatever. But it can carry over, say like early game, they attack with 1 monster, you Scapegoat. That Scapegoat is going to last you another like 2 turns or whatever, so it's like 3 threatening roars basically. And that's why it gets the nod over threatening roar. So under traps, we have 3 Reckless Greed. This card is absolutely insane in this deck, because in those 2 turns that you miss out on your draw step or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you're just going to kill him either that turn, or you're going to draw into other Reckless Greeds, or other cards that draw cards, or just cards that gives you enough time to last through those turns. Also, it's a chain link, obviously, so it's amazing. Next is 3 Accumulated Fortune. Accumulated Fortune is really what makes the deck function. I mean, you just have 3 other cards, you activate them all, Accumulated Fortune's last, you draw 2 more cards, so you just restock, refuel, especially if you have a Reckless Greed. I mean, that's 4 cards right there. You just basically use you just gain back your entire chain in 2 cards. So, I mean, obviously that's the reason why you're playing that card. Next we have 3 Secret Barrel. Secret Barrel is very essential to this deck, because a lot of times people just like overload their field. It gives you plenty of time. It also works with other cards like Ojama Trio, which you're playing obviously. But yeah, it's solid damage. Most of the time it deals maybe 1,600, maybe even more. The most I've done with it is like 2,400. That means they have 12 cards, so they have a full field. But yeah, very solid. Just Desserts. Just Desserts, 3 of them. I mean, the way Burn loses most of the time is if they put constant pressure on you and you don't have anything, so that means they're summoning more monsters, which means these are always good. Also, I mean, 1,000 damage off of a rabbit is not that bad either, and it also works with, well, Ojama Trio, okay. Yeah. We have 3 Dimension Walls. Dimension Wall is just a magic cylinder, basically. So, I mean, how can that not be bad? I had one game when I was playing against Insectors, and my opponent wasn't the best player ever, but still, he drew very well. In his first turn, he played BLS, and equipped it with Armor Arm and attacked me. I just played Dimension Wall, and he took 4,000 damage. Next turn, I set Magic Cylinder, and he promptly attacked me, and then he took another 4,000 damage and lost. But yeah, it does a lot of damage, especially if they're just straight up attacking you. 2 Ojama Trio. This is probably the best card in the deck, because it lets you set it for so many plays. It lets you set it for Just Desserts for 2,500. That's an extra 600 damage for Secret Barrel. It clogs up their field. So, example, say they have 1 monster on the field, and they play Tour Guide. And in response to Tour Guide's effect, you activate Ojama Trio. They now have 5 monsters on the field, so they can't search for a monster with Tour Guide. It's the same if they have Wind Up Rat. I had to play earlier that day in the tournament, where my opponent had a Synchro monster out. An Exceed monster out, and then he summoned Rat. He switched to defense mode. In response, you activate Ojama Trio, and Rat's effect happens. Rat's effect happens, and it just gets negated because he can't summon a monster. So he just wasted his entire turn. Very good card. Also, you can sacrifice it to Lava Golem, which is always good. So, Legacy of Yata-Garasu, it's basically a Jar of Greed. It's the same thing, except in some situations, if they have a Spirit Monster, you can draw 2 cards, which doesn't really come up at all, but it comes up if they're playing Piper Chaos, which, I mean, is a deck, so that's always good. It's basically just a chain link, 1-for-1 stuff. Then we have Magic Cylinder. I mean, it's like basically the same as Dimension Wall, so I mean, I already went over it. 1 Jar of Greed. The reason I'm not playing 3 Legacy of Yata-Garasus is because of the chain links. So for a lot of your cards, like the Accumulated Fortune and Chain Strike, there cannot be multiples of a card in the chain. So you play 1 Jar of Greed, just in case you draw 2 Legacies, because it won't work in the chain. It's the exact same card, basically. 1 Metal Reflex Slime. This is a card that I saw being played in a guy's deck at YCS Long Beach. He had ran one of them, and it's actually quite good, especially in the Rabbit Mirror match. It's like the same reason the Fool is good. They don't have a lot of monsters that get over this. They just summon a bunch of Logias and stuff like that, and 3,000 defense is very big. It especially blocks Lava Golem attacks too, which is also incredibly important. And the last card is Ceasefire. It's basically just like another Just Desserts, but sometimes it deals extra damage because you have monsters on the field. So yeah, we're going to go to the side deck quickly. 1 more Fool for the Rabbit matchups. 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. 4 obviously Royal Decree, and any other problem, Matt's Battle Trap. We have 2 Maxx Cs. I should be playing 3, but I could not get a third, either for their wind-ups and other decks that special summon tons, like probably dragons. We have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. They're for Insectors and any dark decks, basically. We have 1 Volcanic Queen. When sometimes opponents only summon 1 monster against you and attack you, like a Lagia or a Dolka or something like that. And in that situation, like say if they're playing Samurais and they just summon 1 monster, they summon 1 Sheen, and you kind of just need to deal with it. This is an extra Lava Golem, basically. We have 3 Macrocosmos. You bring these in against Insectors and any deck that relies on the graveyard. It kind of just shuts them down completely. And we have 2 Breakers. It's more things for Royal Decree. Just another way of getting around it. And finally, 1 Cyber Dragon. I would probably change this to the 3rd Maxx C, but you can use this against wind-ups and other machine decks. So yeah, that's it for the deck. If you have any questions, feel free to do a comment. And yeah, that's it for now. I should have some duels of my top 4 posted pretty soon after this. Alright, there it is.